promise was a young girl's wish. Her father promised to find another job where he would be accepted for his ethnicity, only for him to pack his bags and leave because every job owner in the city refused to accept him. He promised that he would stay with her until the very end. Years later, she stood in the midst of the valley and watched him drive away on an old broken-down road. The riots were rummaging through the streets, with blood running down their hands. They were violent and wild beasts. They shouted and screamed at us innocent Negro people. Anger and rage filled their heartless minds as they continued beating up and stabbing our people relentlessly. And the police officers, who were supposed to help us, started shooting at us. Some of them tried to break up the fighting, but to no avail. And therefore, I fled the scene in a heartbeat. I ran as fast as I possibly could, until my fears faded away. I stood at the edge of a mountain made of ash and stone. The world is not what I thought it would be like. It's harsh and violent, uncaring and downright brutal. And people continue to ignore these problems of society. The government is ever so careless these days. They know that it's wrong to do these things, but they still do them anyway. Why? Why do they still walk along the hidden path of corruption? I ask myself these questions once or twice a day. The world is not meant to be this way. Violence spreads the message all over our country. The Negro is weak and unimportant. No, never in my lifetime did I ever think I was going to hear such cruel words. Over 100 years ago, all African American slaves in the United States were granted freedom. But now, we are still facing inequalities and discrimination. Race and ethnicity should not determine self-worth. As long as we are able to connect with each other, that's all that matters. Whether we are cream peach or dark copper-skinned, we both deserve the same respect. Trees are supposed to turn green in the freshness of spring, not burn and wither into flames. Rivers should flow with crystal clear water, not with scattered debris. And butterflies could be flying in the sky towards freedom, but they're trapped in this cage called pollution. All three of these things represent life, because violence destroys new ideas, corrupted minds make our streets filthy, and the chaotic demands that fill the air restricts the freedom of the Negro people. In my dreams, I see a world up high in the clouds made of white cotton, the cotton of which our ancestors hand-picked as slaves in the South. But these dreams show visions of a better world. A world where people are different from each other, yet they are all considered equal. Families stayed together, and some even helped when others needed support. No race was superior, all were equal. The Negro worked alongside the Asians and Native Americans. Mixed races were also warmly welcomed into the world. And the Caucasians, who had once caused all of these social problems, realized what they did wrong and apologized. We forgave them, because we know that deep down somehow, all lives matter in the world, even if it doesn't feel like it. Someday in the real world, the joy and happiness that was stolen from us will return back to us. We will look back in our southern lands for the last time and walk forward to freedom in a brand new life.